So, friends, we all know there's another hurricane building, Hurricane Milton. Milton's heading straight for my mother and my stepsister and people I care about in Bradenton, Florida. And at least right now, the weather is saying that's where it's going to hit. So, to take my mind off it, I'm going to tell y'all a very long and epic story about a particular hurricane. A hurricane that was named Mr. Ruben Carter, who was a boxer who went to jail absolutely unjustly because he was an innocent man. He didn't murder anybody, and Bob Dylan wrote a true song about it called Hurricane. So this is that hurricane story. It's a very rousing story. And yeah. 'Still shouting out in the bar at night. Enter Patty Valentine from the upper hall. She sees the bartender in a pool of blood, cries out, "My God, they killed them all." Here comes the story of the hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something he never done. Put in a prison cell one time. He could have been the champion of the world. Lying there, does Patty see another man named Bellow moving around mysteriously? "I didn't do it," he says, and he throws up his hands. "I was only robbing the register, I hope you understand. I saw them leaving," he says, and he stops. "One of us had better call the cops." So Patty calls the cops. They arrive on the scene with their red lights flashing in the hot New Jersey night. Couple friends were driving around. Number one contender for the middleweight crown had no idea what kind of shit was about to go down when a cop pulled him over to the side of the road. Just like the time before and the time before that. In Patterson, that's just the way things go. If you're black, you might as well not show up on the streets. Unless you wanna draw the heat. around. He said, I saw two men running out, they looked like middleweights. Jumped into a white car with out-of-state plates. Miss Maddie Valentine just nodded her head. Cop said, wait a minute, boys, this one's not dead. So they took him to the infirmary. And though this man could hardly see, they told him he could identify the guilty men. And they hauled Ruben in, took him to the hospital and brought him upstairs. The wounded man looks up through his one dying eye, said, why did you bring him in here for? He ain't the guy. Yes, that's the story of the hurricane, the man the authorities came to blame. Something he never done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. Fighting for his name, while Arthur Dexter Bradley is still in the robbery game. Robbed, and the cops are putting the screws to him and looking for somebody to blame. Remember the murder that happened in a bar? Remember you said you saw the getaway car? You think you like to play ball with the law? Do you think it may have been that fighter that you saw running that night? Don't forget, you are white. Dexter Bradley said, I'm really not sure. The cops said a poor boy like you could use a break. We got you for the motel job and we're talking to your friend Bello. You don't want to have to go to jail. Be a nice fella. You'll be doing society a favor. Son of a bitch is brave and getting braver. We want to put his ass in a stir. We want to pin this triple murder on him. He ain't no gentleman, Jim. Take a man out with just one punch, but he never never did like to talk about it much. It's my work, he'd say, I do it for pay. When it's over, I just as soon go my way, up to some paradise where the trout streams flow and the air is nice. Ride a horse along a trail. But then they took him to the jailhouse where they tried to turn a man into a mouse. All the Ruben cards were marked in advance. The trial was a pig circus, he never had a chance. The judge made Ruben's witnesses drunkards from the slums. To the white folks who watched, he was a revolutionary bomb. To the black folks, he was just a crazy no one doubted that he pulled the trigger, though they could not produce the gun. The DA said he was the one who did the deed, and the all-white jury agreed. Summary. Ruben Carter was falsely tried. The crime was murder. One guess who testified, Bello and Bradley, and they both badly lied. And the papers, they all went along for the ride. How unusual. How can the life of such a man be in the palm of some fool's hand? To see him obviously framed couldn't help but make me feel ashamed to live in a land where justice is a game. In their coats and their ties are free to drink martinis and watch the sunrise, while Ruben sits like Buddha in a 10-foot cell. An innocent man in a living hell. That's the story of the hurricane, but it won't be over till they clear his name. Give him back the time he's done. Put in a prison cell, but one time he could have been the champion of the world. Now I feel all pissed off. Social injustice makes me mad. And I really did stop thinking about Hurricane Milton for a moment there. Yeah, it's a long story. It's a long song. Bear with me, do please. Just stay with us that long, because it's a very suspenseful tale. Anyhow, see you around.